Hey traders, welcome back to another episode of the Trading Coach Podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you another one of our accountability sessions. These have been one of the most popular parts of our trading platform and one of the most popular podcast episodes we do as well, as you get to hear from traders other than myself. And what's really cool about today's episode is that today's episode comes from a real trader, right? We get a lot of, you can imagine I talk to a lot of traders on a regular basis, and there are a lot of common fears, and I think this trader really represents all of them. He has started with zero experience in the market. I'm talking literally not even knowing what a pip was. It took him a little bit of time to gain trust because there was fear about being ripped off. There are a lot of scammers out there, so that is a normal fear and a normal kind of defense that we run into all the time. And also, he had the quote-unquote excuses of being very busy. He owns a business, he has 4 kids, but something inside him, right, as he approaches a certain birthday, a certain round number birthday, said, it's either now or never. And that is the little bit of motivation that caused him to make the jump. And if you're sitting back and you're like, hey, that kind of sounds like me, at least part of that, that is good, because what we're trying to represent here, and this goes as far as myself and Jason Greystone as well, is although you see us in this light now where we're successful traders, we're successful educators, we're successful businessmen, and you kind of see us as, at the top of the mountain, I guess you can say. We both started at the very bottom. We are both average Joes. We did not come from money. We kind of got here the hard way. So we love hearing conversations like this because it gives us an opportunity to kind of reflect on our lives and just appreciate kind of the journey that we took and just being in a position to help others do the same. So it's a cool episode. Let me know what you think. Obviously, do me a favor, support the show by leaving me a rating and a review. It takes a second, but that's the best way we can continue to spread the word and really reach more and more traders out there and hopefully have a positive impact in their lives. Also, do me a favor, if you follow me on social media, if you're on social media, right, share this episode. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know what you liked. Let me know what you didn't like. Any takeaways like that or any questions are always helpful for me growing the show, because I want to deliver content that is helpful to you guys, not just what I want to talk about. All right, enjoy.
Hey, Jason. All right.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
I'm all right. Thank you very much. Hello to everyone. Nice to see you all.
Yeah, right. So whereabouts are you, Lee? You're in West
South
Country,
Wales. South Wales. Right. Swansea.
Okay. Swansea. So how's life in Wales?
I'm in the 4th week of the lockdown, so I'm growing a bit hairy, and I have to wear a hat because my hair's growing so long. But it's okay, mate. It's okay.
I wear a hat because my hair's going. So tell us a little bit about, for anyone who hasn't connected with you inside the community already, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do,
Okay, so I got zero experience in trading, nothing at all. Prior to this, like 5 weeks ago, I didn't even know what a pip was, so I'm very, very new. I've been really interested in trading and Forex for about 2 years, but it's taken me some time to actually trust an actual account or system that I don't feel like I'm going to be ripped off or I'm not wasting my money. I'm also pretty busy. I got my own insurance company, which I've run for the last 4 years. I got 4 kids, so my life is pretty hectic. But I turned 40 in January, so it was like a now or never moment for me. I'd gone to a lot of companies in London and had to look what they had to offer, but nothing really tickled my fancy, if I'm honest. I kind of always felt that it was going to be a 2 or 3 week course and I come out with very little knowledge. Right. And then I stumbled across yourself, Jason, and Akil. Watched a lot of YouTube videos, etc., and just kind of bought into it, really.
Okay. And what was different? What was different?
I'm a simple person. I'm ex-military, which I get a lot of indications on this, which really relate to me, like the process driven. I'm very process driven. I'm very rule driven. And I love the step-by-step guide that you do it. It's very simple, and I'm a simple man. You know, I don't ever overcomplicate things. I understand getting from A to B isn't a straight road, and it's loop to loops and backwards, and you're taking dead ends, etc. But I just found that the platform was very, very simple, and it just appealed to me. And then there's no rush, and I don't like to be rushed. You know, I'm a learn one thing, really process it, and then move on to the next thing. The courses that I was looking at, there was like 2 or 3 weeks crammed in, and at the end, then you would pretty much just let out into the wild, which just wasn't for me, really.
Yeah, right. So that's interesting what you said there. Firstly, that you're military. So anyone who's kind of one thing I always say is there's a common theme in the most dedicated clients, and I'm not saying that there's, no one else can do it, but it's military, IT, and athletes. And when you think about that, it's kind of, it makes sense, because processes and discipline really are what make up a successful trading approach, right? So focusing on process over outcome, and what you just said about process, you don't like pressure. There doesn't want to be a time pressure, because the time's irrelevant. The process just gets you there inevitably, if you can just do the process properly. So really interesting for you to mention that as well, especially being from a military and kind of talking about processes as well. But it also means you've got some discipline, and you understand orders, and you can really focus on the process, right? So how have you found the learning that you've had so far? Like, how has that absorbed, and how have you taken that in?
Really good. Really good. I find the community is amazing. I got to say that. I don't ask many questions. I like to just get a feel of the community to see who's willing to answer questions, because I know a lot of people are busy, but it's a really good community. But the learning, it's a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot of technical knowledge, a lot of technical jargon. But if you take it little steps at a time, it's really simple. I have really dragged it out though. So I did the foundation course. It's taken me like 5 weeks, but like I keep on going back and back. Like this week, it's all I've done this week. Is just look at double tops and double bottoms. I've done nothing more than that, apart from run my business, which, I'm kind of like balancing it all together. But until I'm like 100% certain on something, I don't like to move on. So it's probably going to take me a good few months to get through the actual training itself.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so you've got a business, and you're kind of bringing in a decent wedge, I would have thought, from running that business. I'd imagine you're going to get some even more business after this whole pandemic. But what's the kind of what's the big goal? Why did you get into trading in the first place?
So my business has been going for about 4 years now, and it's in a really good place. I mean, I've done really well. It's I'm pretty fortunate, but my time I put into that is just insane. I've got a young family. My eldest is 12. My youngest is 4 weeks old. So I'm doing like 60-hour weeks, sometimes more. And I don't want to be in this position when I'm 50. I'm kind of like selling my time for money. For money, yeah. Which is fine, I suppose, in one way, but I will never get this time back. And I something's got to give. Having the money's lovely, but you can't really get the time back and the memories that I'm kind of missing. So I want to change my 60-hour weeks. I want to slowly scale it down, and to a point where I'm kind of just making my money work for me, rather than me really work my ass off for my money.
Yeah. And in order to build a business like that, you must have had a passion to do that work, and you must be good at that job, right? And you must be able to serve your customers and understand their problems. But it is great to get to a point where you can choose to just do bits of that business that you enjoy the most, right? So scaling. So the way that I would always approach it is kind of scaling in, some trading income, to kind of relieve you of some of the stuff that you don't want to do, or take on less clients, or, you know, just do some kind of one-on-ones with people and higher price point stuff. So really cool. So what are you working on? What do you see yourself, you know, how are you approaching this? You're a process man, so I assume you've kind of set yourself a realistic time frame, and you're gonna you've got a set plan. What is that plan?
Sorry, I lost you there, Jason. I think it's my internet. Sorry, mate.
Okay, I was just saying, what's the kind of plan for the short term then? You're a process guy.
Short term is just continue learning. I really just want to get the basic knowledge right. I don't even want to look at any sort of patterns yet. I don't want to look at. I'm just really trying to cement the 3-bar reversals, the double tops, the flags, the pennants, the triangles, ascending triangles, the real basics, and then I'll slowly progress on. I mean, I'm really, really looking forward to backtest, and it's something that I've wanted to do from day one, because that's something that really invests me. But I'm trying not to get ahead of myself. I'm just trying to get a good, solid base, so then I can move on to stage 2, stage 3. And when I get there, I'm not trying to have to backtrack. I understand that I'm not going to absorb it all, and I will have to go back to certain lessons, but I need to understand. Yeah, I know what trends. I get what a bullish. I get it all, but it's just on a real live trade. It's completely different than on a drawing that Akil has drawn out. The live sessions I'm going into every day are really, really good. I think I'm getting the most out of that. It gives me a good feeling of the psychology of trading and the pace of it, because I was kind of expecting it all to be buy now, sell now, buy now, sell now, and it's not. It's a lot more relaxed, and, you know, let's have a cup of tea. You know, we'll wait for this to happen. We'll wait for that to happen, and that was a bit of an eye opener, which is really, really nice, to be honest with you, because I do want to slow down a bit.
Excellent. Okay, really cool. So, listen, mate, is there anything that I guess you're just starting off, so you can't really see any challenges ahead yet. But if you do, you know, this community is great, as you know. Just the fact that everyone's turned up here, this many people in here for the accountability session on a Friday, just says it all, really. Great session. Thanks for sharing that with us. And I hope to talk to you maybe book in again in like 6 weeks, maybe.
I will
just to get the momentum going. You've laid your cards on the table now. Everyone knows where you're at, so everyone knows what you're going for. So it's not kind of about, you know, making masses of progress, but in 6 weeks when I speak to you, you're going to be a bit further ahead, and it's just kind of that, get the momentum going. So thanks for coming on, Lee. It's been a pleasure talking to you, mate.
Thank you very much.